Hey guys, we're back with another episode of Magic the Gathering Duels of the Poops and the Planes, and there's poops and planes, poops and... You guys ever poop on a plane?
I feel like we've done this
Can't
before.
do this again.
Did I already ask you about pooping on a
We
plane?
did it literally twice.
You know what? No. I remember. Because what happened is we did that, and we were going to talk about pooping on a plane, and then something like Nick's controls wouldn't work.
Didn't work.
And then we did it again, and it still didn't work, and I still brought up the pooping on a plane, and then we never actually got to talk about pooping on a plane.
I think we did it a third time even, and maybe did talk about it.
No, we didn't.
Did we not? Oh, maybe we did.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't, because the third time we were just talking about something else when we got in there, because we were already upset.
I really feel like we did.
I don't think we did.
I don't actually. It's fine. Just talk about it. I don't care.
Let's talk about pooping on a... You guys ever poop on a plane?
No.
It's not a good idea. It's a big problem.
There's one dude, because I was in first class,
First class.
First class.
When I was in first class, I had to...
No, but I don't have any lands. All right. Okay.
All right, that's always good.
I was in first class, not because I wanted to, because it was the only ticket left to get to PAX. I think I've told that already. But obviously I was right next to the front bathrooms.
Yep.
And that guy walked up, went to the bathroom, and he came back out, and I think he had the door open for like maybe a second and a half, maybe 1.5 seconds, and that was enough time for his stank ball to roll down into a tidal wave of disgusting down the aisle.
Pressurized cabin, man.
You could see the faces of the people, like you could
as
see
it
their
struck
noses
each person?
wrinkle. Yeah, as it hit each person. And it was just like, man, whatever you ate before you got on this plane, don't again, please.
Yeah, no, that sucks. That's gross.
Better out than in, though, right?
gross.
Maybe he was having a really bad day, and now he feels a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, maybe he should have thought about what he puts into his
He
body.
should have used poopery.
Hey-oh,
That's a thing.
poopery.
No, that's an actual
Wait,
product.
really?
That's a real product.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, there's actually, I saw a display for it recently, but I've seen commercials on TV. It's like this liquid that you drop onto, and this wouldn't actually work on a plane because I know how the plane toilets work, but you drop it onto the surface of the water that's sitting still in the toilet, and basically it envelops the turd and then captures the smell within it, and then releases a fresh scent where the shit smell would come from. So, like, if the airplane toilet had a little water in it, you could actually have totally used poopery.
Wow. Should have pooped to read.
Yeah, I think everyone would have been happier as a result.
I agree. You're right. Should have pooped when you were to read.
I just don't see a point, like, the whole pooping on a plane thing, unless you're just really, like, you're gonna go.
Well, if you gotta poop, I mean, you gotta poop.
But
you know?
you should know your own body well enough to not put yourself in that position, unless it's just there's a moment of just vulnerability where you just had no ability to predict.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're just sick, you can't help that.
Yeah.
But in the event that, like, you just kind of waited too long and you just didn't schedule properly, like, you just gotta get your hands around that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Get your head around it.
Don't
get your hands around it.
Yeah, no. Don't just use paper. Don't
just reach up there.
Yeah, that's a...
Yank it out like a rogue snake.
Yeah, no, definitely don't want to yank it out like a rogue snake. It's the main thing you want to avoid. Is
I think that's high up there on the avoid list.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Don't be...
It'll bite you on the way out if you do.
Yeah, like a snapping turtle.
Like,
I've been there.
Like a rogue snake.
Like similar to a rogue snake. Yes, I would say.
Fucking lost.
Did you lose the game of Dota, Austin? That's kind of what
did.
it sounds like you're doing.
Yeah,
Sounds like you lost Dota. Yeah,
absolutely.
So is that the whole conversation you wanted to have about the pooping on the plane this whole time?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much.
Is there
it.
more to add to this conversation? I feel like this was a lot of ceremony to just dismiss it this quickly.
Well, because I've never pooped on a plane, and I don't plan to, I can't really add much more than that.
Well, you can speculate on the strategy, sort of like what I did.
I'll speculate on something, and it's not a rogue snake.
Peeing on the plane is pretty much fine.
Yeah,
I don't even like to do that, to be honest.
Well, because you got to get up, and then they're like, "Oh, we know where you're going."
Yeah,
and everybody
everyone on the
watches
whole
you
plane
go back.
knowing that you're peeing. I wouldn't be able to pee in that situation. Too stressful.
No, that's why you gotta pee really loudly so that you make sure people know.
You're one of those, aren't you?
Just be the guy just taking a bottle of water. Don't show it. And then
I'm the
just,
guy
like,
that'll try to deflect my pee in the way that makes no sound.
You know what I learned is don't be that guy that has to poop in the convention center, Because if you have to poop in the convention center, unless you're getting there at like 8 a.m. to poop, you're going into a stall. Well, not only that, but I mean, like, you're gonna be waiting online for the stall, and then you have to wait on the line, and it's really awkward, and be like, I'm waiting for a stall. You can go ahead of me. And then when the guy gets out of the stall, you know he just pooped. That's what he's in the stall for. He just went to go poop. So he pooped.
It's weird that we have to be so self-conscious about this thing we all do.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Every single goddamn one of us does that, and yet we still have to pretend like no one does it at all.
We do tend to poop a lot, yeah.
Yeah, it is a weird idea because I mean there isn't anyone who doesn't poop. I mean, if you don't, I'm dead. If you don't,
everybody poops.
You're gonna have a bad time.
There's a book called that, I think, too.
This is the shortest game of Magic in the history of Magic games.
Goodbye, Austin. It was nice knowing you.
It was great.
That's all right. We can get to the main event, which is sitting on the title screen pretty soon.
Yeah. 6, 9.
Oh, I like what you did there.
You're a dummy. You have a 5, a 6, and you're gonna do an extra 1 on me?
All right, I guess that's a good point.
I can do the math, man. Be the mathematician so we can end this even faster.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, sometimes the goblin deck gets rolling, and then, sometimes it doesn't. But when it gets rolling, it gets rolling.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Are you dead?
Whatever. No, I hit the 10-2 on the wrong
Rob, are
one.
you dead?
I think I'm dead, actually.
All that damage backfired.
Are you stupid?
I would have had, like 4 extra damage on Nick, so I wouldn't have killed him on this turn anyway.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
Wasting all our damn time.
Dead weight.
You deaded my weight.
Your weight's dead, dude.
It's rude.
It's
fine.
You're a rude dude. There's a lot of tude.
Me and Nick collectively had 1.
2 dead weights. 2 of them are dead.
Yeah.
We really put up a nice fight there. We did.
Trying to keep my head on straight.
That was a good battle that we all had.
Yeah,
I'd say every single one of us. All of us were involved in the battle.
You know what I'm thinking about is when we get back to the title screen, how there's going to be this large contingent of people that's like, so what excuse did they have not to play another game this time? Because this was like barely 5 minutes.
That was like, I think 9 minutes.
Yeah,
was that over 5 minutes?
I could check here. It was 7 minutes. So 7 minutes. We spent like 2 minutes on the title screen just talking about stuff. I mean, we could potentially do another.
Well, so that's where I was going to go. Is like, do we just want to spite those people and still not do one?
We could
kind of do.
We could, yeah. I mean, we
got the magic out of the way. That's behind us now. We don't ever need to talk about that again until the next time we record this game.
It's more of a requirement than
that's what it is. It's a requirement.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you got to do at least one magic game, and then we get to talk.
No, it's one magic game.
It's just a bonus if it's short.
We've done two like 1 or 2 times, right? It's happened, but I don't know why.
No, it's happened. Yeah. Well, it's because we would get to points like this where it was like that wasn't even really a game.
That was just a slaughter.
Yeah, like no one really got a chance to do anything there.
I just want to like open a completely different game and play that.
I'm sure a lot of people would love it if we did that because there's a lot of people that see this podcast and they're like, "Well, I don't like Magic the Gathering. I don't know how to play that." But
you guys want to flip a coin to see whether or not we play?
Not really.
If both sides are heads and heads is no, then
no.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't really want to
fair enough. All right, that sounds good to me.
We got our requirement out of the way. We don't need to play Magic anymore. It's over.
No, that's true. What Nintendo news do you guys have to flame them for?
I was gonna, before we get to the Nintendo segment, I was going to bring up the whole thing that we meant to talk about like a week ago when we did the last recording, which was that Twitch question that we had.
Oh, okay,
that? No. When me and Rob were at PAX, Austin was at PAX too, but he didn't catch this particular moment. We went to a presentation by the Twitch people, and by the Twitch people, I mean 3 people I don't know who they are, and Ezekiel the Third. One of them works for Twitch, I believe. He's actually, someone in the higher ups.
Yes.
Oh, DJ. Okay,
he was Kappa Face, no space.
Yeah, it was Joe Kappa was there.
Yeah.
Joe Kappa was not there. I would have been very happy to see him.
His name isn't Joe Kappa, but I like calling him Joe Kappa.
I also really wish that they made printouts of his face with eye holes that you could wear, just like a mask, and just have them walking around the Twitch booth.
You
Would have
know,
been really positive for me.
I want to take just a quick moment because I decided to look at the comments on the last video to see if there were any salient questions that we could talk about after we talk about this. One of them was in all caps, just start playing multiple games in an episode already.
Man, that guy's
well, we've addressed
pissed.
that question already.
I'm sorry about that, board to heck, but
apt username.
It really is. Yeah, it's rather fitting considering.
We weighed the pros and cons, and I'm sorry you didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
We flipped the coin, we just cut that part out.
Were there any actual questions, or was that really it?
Someone's telling me about the G930 and how I could use a USB dongle, and I really love dongles.
We've got to sort out your headset problem like soon.
Yeah. Right now it's pretty good.
We've got 40
okay
minutes
right now.
before it starts acting shitty for some reason. I'm not sure what that's about.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So we were gonna talk about it before we completely
Twitch, yes.
missed the Twitch question again, like we did last week.
I was gonna let you go as far as you wanted with that.
Yeah.
I mean, another one was Archon Zach has 1,000 hours in Skyrim and he has 12 in Oblivion. Yeah, he's only 12 in Oblivion.
1,000 hours in Skyrim to 12 in Oblivion.
Yeah.
That should be the other way around, I feel like.
What? How did you get to that amount on one and stop so soon on the other? I have to wonder.
I feel like it might have been the case in his case. If you get to 1,000 hours in Skyrim and only 12 in Oblivion, I feel like the most likely
1,000 hours in Skyrim and only 12 in Oblivion. Let's say it.
Yeah.
I want to make sure everyone hears.
1,000 hours in Skyrim and then only 12 in Oblivion.
How many in Morrowind?
Probably 0. Well,
yeah,
that
zero.
actually brings
so 1,000 hours in Skyrim, 12
here's what,
in
How many in
Oblivion.
Daggerfall, though?
0 in... How many in Daggerfall?
Oh, that's an excellent question. You know what? That tears my whole argument down.
Yeah.
You should stop there.
All right, yeah, because if we don't know how many hours he has in Daggerfall,
Oh my god.
Yeah. No, but what likely happened is he probably had 1,000 hours. Skyrim was probably his first.
How many hours did he have?
Yeah, 1,000 hours in Skyrim. It's probably his first Elder Scrolls game, and then he was like, I really like Skyrim. That was really good. Let's go back and play Oblivion.
But like 12 in Oblivion. What if he started at Oblivion? He's like, I'm just not into these games, and then he came back and he's like, but Skyrim though.
You know what? It's possible that he said, I'm playing Oblivion right now. I want to have 12 hours in Oblivion and 1,000 hours in Skyrim.
Oh, because it makes for a good story.
Right, exactly.
There's a lot of speculation. It's a good contrast,
right,
from the one to the other.
Oh, definitely.
It's a huge difference.
All right, I think I'm done talking about that now.
Are
you okay with that?
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. That's pretty good.
Pretty good with
It's
that.
1,000 hours in Skyrim. Okay, so there was a presentation, a panel, as they call them at PAX, and I went to, I tried to go to a couple, but the other one I went to, which was like about how to manage your life as a gamer while also still dealing with everyday adult things, which I know the way I just described that sounded like it would be the most boring shit ever, but they had a really compelling paragraph in the Twitch app that made me think this could be a good panel, and unfortunately it wasn't. So it didn't sit through that one, but came back for the Twitch one because I wanted to find out how to become a successful Twitch streamer, and I thought that this panel was going to help me. And one of the points that we went over in this presentation, which a lot of it was about basically how exciting TwitchCon was going to be because of brand synergy and beautiful corporate relations, because it was that type of panel. It was basically just, a circle jerk of how cool Twitch is.
Luckily, I missed that part of it.
Yeah, Rob was like half an hour late, and the first half an hour was all that.
You know why I was a half an hour late? Because I was pooping in the.
Oh my god! It all comes full circle.
It ties in. That was what was happening. That was my pooping incident there.
That's pretty good.
Sorry, go on.
All right, so one of the points that I wanted to bring up for actual discussion, and this is how long fucking winded I am that it took this long to get to the actual question, was that it came up. Someone had asked in the Q&A section. So, how does this whole thing work if I'm not getting viewers? Should I feel motivated to continue to stream even though no one's watching? And the answer that I thought was particularly controversial was that the person said to the person asking the question, no, you shouldn't. If you have no viewers, you've already done something wrong. So I wanted to open the floor to ask, do you agree with that assertion or not?
I do not. But I think, Rob, you do.
Well, there's a difference. If you have 0 viewers, then probably, yeah. I mean,
let's say for the sake of argument, it's like 5 or less.
Well, I don't know.
Or just say 0 then, if that's easier. Just say no viewers.
I feel like it is an important point though to make. Like I feel like this situation that we're going to create here, where there's 0 viewers, we're going to assume that this person has a good mic, good stream quality,
yes,
and a good setup. Because if you don't have that, then you're not going to get any viewers. So people are going to come in and immediately leave. But assuming that's all there, which is the case for a lot of streamers in this position, I feel like that point needs to be made. So that just kind of goes without saying.
I think the thing is, yeah, like you have to have obviously you have to have the bare minimum, which is a decent setup, right? On top of that, though, if you don't have some sort of a hook that it like exists in your title, the game that you're playing, or whatever, and I'm just speaking from like a purely numbers standpoint, not like if you're looking to be a successful streamer, which again, if you're going in to do it, if you're going in because like I want to be a successful streamer with that as your primary focus, then you're doing it wrong. You shouldn't do that.
Oh, you can do that if you want. Why can't you do that?
Well, because it leads to a lot of like not great things.
Well, yeah, it does, and it's a world that I kind of feel like mostly our community doesn't really dwell within, but I still don't begrudge that people want to do it that way. It's just not what I want.
No, yeah, I mean, but there's
I kind of agree with Rob. Yeah, I feel like if you're going in with success and in some cases money in mind, then you've started off poorly.
Well, the problem is going to be yourself. You're going to be incredibly critical of yourself the whole time, and you're probably going to burn out because you need the drive.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that too.
You need to enjoy what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
if you're not if you're doing it like, hey, I want to make money on Twitch, then that you're not going to be successful. You're just not going to be successful.
You might
are less likely
in most cases.
Perhaps.
You can do that if you have a base eventually, and then you could start doing that. But you really got to start off with the passion to do it, because everybody gets jaded doing it.
Yeah, even if you love it, eventually you still get jaded.
Yeah,
you still need to take a break every so often.
Yeah, exactly. But if you go in with that mindset, then you're not going to have a good time. Anybody that walks in is going to see you're not having a good time, and it's just not going to be. Right. But here's my point with the 0 viewers thing. If you are going into a stream with 0 viewers, if you're doing it for like, just your friends to watch, great, sure, that sounds fine. That's all right. But if you're going in and I want to be a Twitch streamer, I want to try to do this, get a real good shot at it. If you're going in with 0 viewers without any kind of social network presence at all other than Twitch, frankly, Twitch doesn't really support you very well in that regard. It just doesn't. The natural discovery on Twitch is not great even for popular streamers, really. And it's especially bad for someone really low.
Okay. Yeah.
I was thinking you had more to say than that, so I didn't jump in.
I mean, I did kind of. So, like, and basically what they were saying, which Nick took issue with, and which.
Well, I haven't finished explaining the whole thing, but I'll do that after you're done.
Well, they basically said, like, go on Reddit, go on forums of the game that you're playing, go on social media, make some, or get your face known in a Twitch chat of a popular streamer, and don't do it like two-facedly, but do it in a way that.
Yeah.
I mean, don't go to like, okay, this is the most popular stream. Hey guys, I'm a new Twitch streamer. Blah 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 blah. Here's my thing.
Yeah,
because that's not gonna work.
Don't do that.
It's not gonna work. I actually allow that on my channel because like I said, I know Twitch doesn't have very good natural discovery, so I'm okay with that. But I'm also not the biggest streamer in the world. But the thing is, if you do that, you're not gonna get anywhere. But go to a stream that you like. I mean, if you want to stream, you probably want to stream because you've seen other people stream and you like their streams. So if you get your face known, most people on Twitch are gonna be pretty okay or like pretty helpful if you're gonna start and you're a face that they know in your chat. I mean, at least I know that I am, and I know most of the streamers that I know are that same way. Where like if someone I know who hangs out in my chat streams. You know, sometimes if they're streaming when I'm done, I'll raid them or I'll tell people about their stream. When they come into my chat, I tell people that, like, hey, he's a Twitch streamer. Go follow his channel. He's a cool dude. You know, like that kind of thing does help. And going on Reddit, going on forums and stuff. I mean, hey, I did a lot of that shit when I was first starting on YouTube. I would not have been popular on YouTube back in the day with Isaac if it hadn't been for the diligence that I put forth as far as like going on Reddit, going on like the Binding of Isaac subreddit, going on the indie gaming subreddit, going on you know, forums and stuff, and being like, hey guys, I'm starting at, well, yeah, you're really not, but you can still kind of do it. Yeah. No, that's basically it. Yeah.
I was gonna say a point though about Reddit is that we've gotten to a point, it wasn't like this a couple years ago, but we've gotten to a point where a very large percentage of subreddits don't allow you to promote your own content anymore. And even ones that do, you're not going to get much from Reddit. Reddit doesn't help nearly as much as it does anymore, and it's kind of sad. But there's just there's two things. It's the fact that it's really not allowed in a lot of places anymore, and there's so many people trying to do it that it's get lost in the mix.
Reddit was pretty instrumental, actually, to me kicking off indie impressions, because I used to go to our indie gaming, and I actually had a pretty good amount of people that would come over every day when I would post the video over there, and I don't think hardly anyone else had realized to do that yet until eventually I started seeing other people posting with a very, very similar format with the way that I would construct my titles. And I was like, all right, so people are kind of deconstructing what I'm doing and trying to harness it, and then eventually they got to the point where they're like, we're just not allowing anyone to do this anymore because so many people did it. I was like, all right, so, I can't do this anymore. I guess I got what I needed to out of it, but it's still unfortunate because I really like that community, and I found out about a lot of stuff from it. So, but yet people still post shit there and don't get in trouble, but I bet if I did, I probably would.
Well, hey, that actually is how it happens on the Dota 2 subreddit, is people post their own shit all the time, and sometimes they get banned, sometimes they don't. But the big guys, if they do it, then they get shadow banned instantaneously. Like if Cyborg Matt posts anything anywhere near resembling anything having to do with something he did, which is something, frankly, and this is a little bit of a derailment, but Reddit is getting to this weird up its own ass place.
There's nowhere
where people are like, you can't do self-promotion here, and it's like, why? Like that's what Reddit is. It's a fucking advertising platform. Yeah, I guess it's a thinly veiled social media advertising platform, but it's a fucking advertising platform. Why does someone with $1 million making an ad for Chevy that's kind of funny have more value, intrinsic value, than someone who makes their own fucking content and puts it on there? I mean, obviously there needs to be some sort of a gate, but the gate should be, and this is something that I've argued before, the system that has been in place on Reddit since its inception, which is the fucking upvote, downvote system. Yeah, like that's what it's there for. If you don't like what this guy's selling, then you downvote him. That's just all it is. Like, why does there have to be a hard rule, a hard limitation of self-promotion?
It's really silly right now because this argument gets thrown around so much now on Reddit. It's kind of just a Reddit-ism that it gets thrown around so much. They're like, if you say that, let the upvote, downvote do its work, people will be like, oh, but that just lets all the shit to the top. That's just all the subreddits go to shit, and it's just a bunch of meme posts. And it's like, I feel like you're taking r/funny and applying that to literally every other subreddit, because I browse a lot of subreddits, and there's so many good posts on these subreddits that people just ignore. That they're on the front page, and they just look at, this meme post has a lot of upvotes, so therefore every post on the front page is a meme post. It's shit. It's terrible. It's like, it's really not.
And I'm very frustrated with this whole like dank meme thing that has been happening across the internet, where people are like, oh yeah, he's just a fucking memer. Like he just has like talks about memes and stuff. It's like, what? So you mean a joke, right? You're saying a joke. A person who makes jokes to make you laugh, you don't like them anymore.
It's like fanboys.
Because? Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
If you have any positive opinion, you become a fanboy, and if you dislike anything, you're a hater. And there's no middle ground for actual discussion.
It's ridiculous. And then to Austin's point, where it's like, oh yeah, well if you allow just the upvotes to let people go, then all the shit posts go to the front page. Well, okay, then you, sir, with that opinion, may need to take a step back and realize that you're clearly then in the minority. And if the majority of Reddit and the people who are upvoting things upvote the things that you don't like, then maybe this place isn't for you.
Wow, because they're all stupid. They don't know. They're fucking a bunch of kids. Only the kids upvote stuff.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Well, my big problem was with our indie gaming. Like the main point of that subreddit, it asked for user-created content, whether that be written or video. So what I do is exactly what they were looking for, and yet became outlawed.
Yeah.
Like, what do they actually want then, if not for that? Because I'm doing the research myself, I'm finding games from other places, and then I'm delivering it to this place as a sort of a pre-curated format. And everyone was happy that I did it for the most part. Every now and then there'd be like somebody that's like, oh, this guy posts too much. But I posted exactly as much as I was allowed to by the rules, which is once every 24 hours. Yeah. And I did that for like a year, which maybe that's kind of abusive, but I also just stopped once I knew it was becoming a problem. My shit got upvoted all the time, so...
Rule. Yeah, exactly.
If they didn't upvote it, maybe I would have taken the message that maybe I wasn't welcome there, but I never got that impression that I wasn't. It just became a rule one day that I wasn't welcome there.
You never got the indie impression.
Oh, hold on here. No, I think the best example for the argument that I'm having here, that the upvote system does work way more than people say it does, is the Dota 2 subreddit, because you will not visit a place where more people say that it's terrible when it's actually not terrible in terms of the content that reaches the front page. Comments can be terrible on the Dota 2 subreddit sometimes. It's an interesting, you get a lot of good, a lot of bad. But the content is actually a nice even mix of funny pictures and videos and other content that is discussions. And I mean, I could go right now and tell you the top 10 posts. You have one discussion on a new match that just happened a couple hours ago. You have a funny video of a model someone made in a parody of a model that Valve made a couple days ago. A funny image about the same thing. And then number 4 is a blog post about getting tickets to the next big event, the International. The next is a shout out and congratulations to 2 casters who did very well today at their job. Another one is a discussion on the update that happened today. As you can see, these are still all, discussions, and there's some pictures and discussions.
Are you just saying that there's still subreddits that have good things in them, or like I don't?
Well, I'm using Dota 2 specifically because you cannot go like 2 threads without someone saying that the content on the subreddit is terrible. You just can't.
Well, I've never said that. So I don't think it's super relevant, I guess.
Well, no, it's the idea that we kind of have got.
That's the general opinion. Yeah, but
okay. Yeah.
I'm just using the general opinion is that like, oh, the shit posts are fucking ruining the Dota 2 subreddit, and it's like, no, they're not.
Yeah.
They're not. And also, if they were, then people wouldn't upvote them.
Right,
because
we were talking specifically about self-promotion, though, and this is not really the same thing.
Well, in that regard, though, Dota 2 subreddit has implemented that very same thing that indie gaming did, and a lot of other subreddits did, popular subreddits did, where they're like, oh, if it's something that you made, you can't do it. Which doesn't make any sense, by the way, for another reason, because the way... Right, firstly, it's the fucking point of Reddit. But secondly, is that if, say, Cyborg Matt, who's like a big... personality in the Dota 2 community. He used to do these patch analysis things, which were actually really good. He put in a lot of fucking effort, extremely intricate. He would go through all this shit and make these analyses until he got banned one day because the Dota 2 subreddit was like, nope, you can't do self-promotion anymore. Which eventually led to, because his name was already popular in the Dota 2 community, because of fucking Reddit, now what happens is if he posts anything of like an analysis nature, someone else posts it. And it's like, I don't like, where is this fucking cognitive dissonance here where you're okay with people who haven't made the thing post it, but you're not okay with the person who did make the thing post it? Why is that somehow different? I don't see how that is in any way different.
It's messed up. I think we get the point, though. I think I should go back, if you guys don't mind, to the original point. Because we've gotten pretty far away from that now.
Yeah, we've gotten to Reddit, yeah.
I wanted to say the thing that kind of made me have a knee-jerk response to this whole question of, you know, what do I do if I have 0 viewers? I think it's a bad idea to condemn someone and say you did it wrong already, because whether or not you have your equipment set up, if, you know, say your sound is set up, your equipment's good, your video is good, the game looks good, your quality is great, all of that shit aside, you still need the experience of streaming.
Yeah,
right?
You do.
So whether or not you've paid a ton of money, you've had people set stuff up for you, maybe even if you're approaching this as like a business investment, and you're literally outsourcing every other element of this, you still have to be a personality at the end of the day, and you still have to talk to people. And you're not just going to be able to buy that in any way, shape, or form. You still have to actually do the act of it. And what better time to hone that craft than when no one's watching?
Yeah.
Right?
That's true, but at the same time, though, like, it doesn't hurt to go to social media, to go do all the things that I said, go to, you know, Reddit or forums or whatever and get your face known, so that at least you have, like, 10, 20 viewers or something, or you know, even like 5, like, people that, even at least any amount of people that you don't know watching. It doesn't hurt to do that while you're learning,
right? It doesn't
because
hurt,
I mean,
but
I did that too. When I was in the early days of YouTube, my fucking quality was awful, and there was my commentary was bad, and like a bunch of awful shit having to do with anything that I did. But people still watched, and then as the quality improved, the numbers went up. Also important to note, by the way, and this is slightly tangential, because this is something that I think one of the people who asked the question had, which is like, your quality doesn't positively correlate with how successful you are. It's unfortunate. It does positively correlate with how unsuccessful you are.
Yeah, just not in the other direction.
Not in the other direction. You can have fantastic quality with these fucking super high-class, awesome overlays and stuff, and that doesn't mean that
the guy on the panel said that too. He said he was brute forcing Twitch. He was streaming for like 15 hours a day. He was missing meals. He felt sick. He could hardly function, but he was just getting no viewers, even though his quality was fantastic, and he was just pissed about wondering why that wasn't working out for him.
Right.
And I think that might have even been the same guy who said, like, that it was a problem if you have 0 viewers.
Yes.
And I hate that mentality more than anything, that it's just like, you're just doing it wrong. You're doing whatever you're doing, and you're gaining something no matter what you're doing. You're putting experience in. You can't just coast and not gain any kind of experience. And even in his case, he learned a valuable lesson, even though it cost him a bunch of time and to some extent his health. I don't recommend replicating that situation, of course, but he definitely learned something from it.
And it's a point, I actually talked about this on a stream a couple days ago, because I had a couple viewers asking about the same thing, like, you know, I have 0 viewers, what do I do? And I brought up this topic. And even if you don't do any, you know, networking of any kind, and you have 0 viewers, there's still a chance. It's not... It varies from what game you're playing. Like, if you're playing a esport and you have 0 viewers, you will never get a viewer. That no one is going through the 1-0 view streams on esports and looking for those streams. They're not. But for other games, for the medium popularity games, Isaac, Dark Souls, games like that, that have kind of a medium value on Twitch right now, people do... I'm sorry, my cat is hitting my mic. People do go and, you know, sometimes they will... But the same people who go to r/new on Reddit, you know, and they start all the... Yeah.
I've rated Isaac streamers many times. I've given them hundreds of viewers, and just I've made a bunch of friends from it, because it's a really positive experience in every direction.
It does happen, and it's going to be extremely important when you do get that one viewer... you want him to click the follow button. You want him to want to come back. And if you're not prepared for that, you know, if you're not even looking at your viewer account, say, and that viewer stops by and you're sitting there doing nothing or not, you know, really there, he's just going to leave, and you're not even going to know he was even there.
Yeah. Oh, and actually, to that point that Austin just made, interaction super fucking important on Twitch, especially if you're like an esports guy, or you're like, you know, like I'm a fucking 7K MMR Dota player, or I'm like, you know, Grandmaster League StarCraft player. Then okay, maybe your skills will be enough to draw in some viewership, but if you're not that specific thing, then, or you have no other kind of hook, then you gotta have some sort of an interaction with your chat, because if you just fucking ignore them like it's a let's play, then why would they stay? And like, there was this one example that I saw.
Why does the NLSS work, though? We mostly don't talk to chat at all.
That's a completely different thing, though, because when for instance, when you or Ryan stream on your own, you both interact with chat. It's just extremely hard to do when you're in a call with people.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, you can do it. If you're solo streaming, then you can interact with chat to a lesser degree, depending on your stream. I mean, the NLSS specifically is like a really geared and focused stream where there's like there's segments and whatnot. Even in those cases, it's harder to do, even more difficult to do when you're in a 2-person call or a 3-person call or what have you. But like, I've seen smaller streams where they have a couple of people on and they still interact with the chat. It depends on which focus you're going, of a more casual nature or a more focused professional nature. But the thing that I was gonna say is I've been browsing actually r/live stream fails, because they're pretty funny. And this one guy, this is a good example. This one guy streamed all of To the Moon, like I think he streamed for like 4 hours, and he streamed a black screen with his webcam on.
Oh,
the chat was telling him the entire time to turn your webcam on. He didn't even look at them.
Was he a popular streamer?
No, he wasn't a popular streamer. He was, but I mean, at that point, I think he had like 40 viewers by the end, because it was pretty funny.
For novelty value, people were showing up to say, "Oh, it's a black screen."
It was a ploy the whole time.
Maybe he's gonna get people to follow. Like, maybe you got some fetishists who are like, "Oh, I really love being ignored. Let's follow this."
Maybe it's
guy.
like an ASMR thing. They just like listening to his voice.
Yeah, I guess so.
A radio broadcast.
So, but I mean, like that's an example of something that you do not want to do at all. Yeah. Like, you don't want to just ignore the chat as if they're not there. Like, it's not YouTube. It's not YouTube. Twitch is a different animal entirely. It's
Even
an animal that I really like.
To anybody, you should still have chat open, just in case somebody shows up and says hi. You want to be there to say hi to them.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of feel rejected even more when I go to a stream that there's basically nobody at, and I talk in the chat and I just don't get anything back. I'm like, all right, well, this guy's got nothing better to do apparently than ignore me.
Yeah.
If it's busy, then like you get lost in a crowd, but if there's nobody, you're the only person. Like, come on.
And this is something that's a bit pretentious of me, but I think you should be prepared for raids in the way that you should at least acknowledge their existence, because there have been a couple of times where I raided some smaller streamer who didn't have a lot of viewers, but their mods were like really up their own asses with how their channel worked, and like I raided them, and like a bunch of people were in like, yeah, Alpaca raid, how's it going, and all this stuff, right? And then, like, the mods were like, no all caps, no raids allowed, ban everyone that's in there. And, like, the streamer just didn't even, like...
Right, well, they're just straight up doing Twitch wrong. I mean, they can not want raids if they want, but to ban everyone and then be like, well, this is my Twitch, like, at least if you're not into it, just express, I'm not into it, please don't do that again.
Right, yeah, exactly. Or don't just ignore that it's even happening to your chat, because it's like, all right,
or be into it because you're getting a lot of new viewers, and you should be very happy about it.
Not everybody does Twitch for the same reasons, and that's fine. If you wanted this to be a private kind of thing, maybe you had 5 or 10 of your friends that are all watching you do something for some reason, and then a whole ton of people just bring a bunch of spam. Like, I could see why that would make you upset, but like, react in a way that's reasonable. Don't ban everybody.
Yeah.
That's all.
I feel like that's a very rare situation, though.
Well, sure, maybe it is, but, like, just, take everybody on a one-to-one basis. Just, ask them what they think about it, I guess.
It's happened to me, like, 3 times, and I've never rated those people ever again. And I only did it because there was like no one else that I wanted to raid was on, and they were there, and I was like, you know what, I had a fine time in their stream the other time when I lurked. I'll go raid them, and just it was like never again, never again. I will never go anywhere near your channel again.
They're getting what they asked for then, right? That's what they didn't want. Yes. Raids. They're not going to get raids.
Well, it wasn't specifically that they didn't want raids. Oh. They were like you know, stop spamming saying the same thing, and they would just ban everybody, and then the streamer just wouldn't acknowledge it, and it's just like, all right, fine. I mean, I got the memo. Don't do it again. You don't want new viewers from my audience. Okay, sure.
I mean, if the goal is that you want a bunch of viewers, and you're going to get pissed at people for writing the same word a couple too many times, then like. You're not going to have a fun time if you do get successful.
There are some chats, too, that have, like, an excessive amount of rules for...
I agree.
For their position.
Oh, that is... It's a kind of a plague among even a lot of popular streamers, is that the rules are a little ridiculous.
Yeah, sometimes
it's not for us to say, but in our opinion...
Oh, no, of course, right, but... I
don't know. I will say, it is for me to say that if you've got, like... 10 viewers, maybe don't make a rule where it's like, oh, don't alternate, don't have an exclamation point into your sentence at any point, because not allowed, I'm instant ban. It's like, that is not how you get people to stay. It's just not. I mean, if you
I feel like they're not doing the same Twitch we are. Like, they're just going to get weeded out if they're not interested in playing the game with the rest of us, you know?
I guess so, yeah. Yeah, that's true, actually. I mean, I'm all for ground rules. I have a bunch of rules, and I have one really weird one too. Well, I actually haven't put that in yet.
What is your weird rule? Or do you not want to say?
No. My one weird rule that I'm going to add in now is be careful with your use of fucking ellipses.
I knew it. I fucking knew it was coming.
So much. I hate them. Yeah. So I have one. That's one weird rule, but it's not. I'm not gonna like Moobot time out all ellipses like that. I'm not gonna.
You would have no viewers left.
It's gonna be right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I would actually be kind of frustrated with that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is some people have Moobot have super enforce their rules instead of dealing with it on a case-by-case basis. Yeah, someone comes in, says a racial slur. I'm okay with Moobot, like, just instantly banning them, right? But other stuff, like, I don't know, don't be a dick, that should be handled, or, like, you know, be careful with the all caps, that could be handled on a case-by-case basis, because it's something that most people, if they're casually browsing a stream, especially in the case of natural discovery, which is what we're talking about here, right? With a person who's starting out on Twitch, people are going to be finding you through natural discovery, for the most part, unless you're being rated by a big streamer or something, or what have you. In those scenarios, rules like instantly banning all caps is not the best idea, because, let's be honest, most people don't go to a stream, decide they want to say something to the streamer and be like, oh, wait, hold on a second. Let me scroll down and look if they have a rules section to see what I can and cannot say.
Right. Feels like Reddit.
Yeah, like most people are not going to do that. So you should handle most things on a case-by-case basis if that's one... Dude,
the ellipsis thing falls right into that, though, in my opinion.
It does. Well, that's why I'm not going to instantly ban it with Moobot.
Okay.
But I am going to, but I deal with it on a case-by-case basis. And I do know when someone's being a dickbag with the ellipses. And also I know that all of the comments on this video are going to involve ellipses. You can all suck it. But either way...
You should all actually just try and just spell the word ellipses. Don't actually put ... Just end all of your sentences.
Well, see, Austin, until then, there was going to be a small contingent of people that didn't know what ellipses meant. So now that you said ... it's all out of the bag.
Yeah, that's it. The cat's no longer in the bag. Who put him there? I'll never know. ... But
no, I mean you have to understand that Twitch chat on a global scale, it's gonna get crazy sometimes. Like,
right,
sometimes
but we can help.
What?
We can help it become less crazy as a community if we have reasonable rules that kind of put forward the idea that we don't have to be a bunch of misogynist, sexist assholes.
Well, I wasn't actually phrasing it in that way. If it can, I was more talking about just, you know, sometimes spam is fun. It's actually quite common for spam to be fun. Like, you know, a couple years ago, not as much. Spam was really only annoying. but it's become its own joke now, and
yeah,
sometimes, a lot of times, it's fun, and chatters enjoy it now. And sometimes if you have a bot auto banning caps and emotes, and you kind of quell that, storm, you're gonna put some people off. And sometimes, even if you don't like it, put up with it every once in a while.
I saw someone who had a Moobot that would auto ban anyone who used Kappa.
Oh, you've done it.
And it's like, you just don't want viewers on Twitch.
You're done. You don't ban the Kappa.
You just don't want people to watch you, is what you're saying. Like, I don't. That's the kind of thing that I don't understand. I mean, there's a community, there's a culture around Twitch, and you know what? This goes all the way back to what we were saying initially, which is like, don't look at Twitch as a business proposition. Do it because you like the culture around it. You've gone to streams where you like the community, where it's like, because in my experience as someone who's a streamer, I really like streaming to the people who are always there and they're cracking jokes and I'm like hanging out with them. That's fun. That's really fun.
But when you're starting, you don't always get that. So you have to kind of like work into that a little bit.
You still, I mean, but you still, even in, honestly, it might even be more prevalent in smaller streams where the community is very tight-knit and people...
Yeah, but there's a difference between smaller streams, meaning like 10 viewers, and no viewers, or like 1 or 2 viewers.
Oh, yeah, 1 or 2, yeah, all right.
The gap between no viewers and 10 viewers is monumental.
It really is.
To the gap between like 10 and 50.
Yeah.
Like, getting those first chunks of viewers is,
Because once you get to 50, 40 of them are going to lurk anyway.
Yeah. Well, and then, honestly, it's weird, too, because if you really wanted to approach Twitch in an extremely business-minded way, I mean, you could still do it. You could still do it either way.
Well, that's what that presentation was. That was the conclusion of that presentation, that people should do it that way. And I found that to be really annoying.
There were a couple good things that they said about the business-minded thing. Like, I think Zeke mentioned this kind of thing, whereas, like, if there's a game coming out that I really want to play, this is me speaking as him. If there's a game coming out that I really want to play, I'm going to hype the shit out of that for, like, a month, because I'm going to play it, and I want people to know that I'm going to play it. Like him in Hotline Miami 2. He was very hyped to play Hotline Miami 2, so he hyped the shit out of, like, I'm excited for... I was just looking at Twitch a second ago, and Dan's Gaming is playing Demon's Souls, and his title is Bloodborne Hype. So, like, it's not entirely... Like, when you do it in that way, if you're not doing the who is he? Who is he on YouTube? Ghost Robo or whatever, who does like the walkthroughs of every game that comes out.
The hottest HD walkthroughs on YouTube, yeah.
Right, exactly. If you're not doing it in that way, you can still be business minded while also being like interesting.
Yeah, but nobody ever says this out loud. Like, you just kind of learn this culture through doing it. So it's funny to actually hear someone just say it just outright like that.
Don't let the business get in the way of the fun, I think is an important rule. Because if you get to that point, you might realize that you're not really enjoying what you're doing anymore.
Yeah. I've let the business part of it just cloud some of the fun, just because I so don't want to go down that road that I would like actively not want to say Bloodborne Hype. Because like then people would see that as a business type thing, and like I'm so not into that idea. I just want to play the games I want to play and have people hopefully enjoy that we can chat while we play them.
Yeah, but also you're sitting at a comfortable position in that like you already have an audience,
right?
Whereas
I'm hyping
other people aren't.
I've been hyping it for like a week.
I did the same thing for Dragon Ball Xenoverse, actually. Like, I mean, it wasn't actually even a conscious thing, but when Zeke was talking about it, I was like, oh yeah, that is a really good thing to do. Because I was hyping the shit out of Xenoverse for like months. I was like, I am going to be playing fucking Xenoverse, and you guys are going to sit and watch it, and there's nothing you can do. I'm going to stream the shit out of it. And I did. And it actually was pretty successful as far as like numbers are concerned. Not that I... Honestly... Me now, for the most part, I don't really look at numbers, because when you do... you know what, actually, there's another side tip.
Don't look at numbers.
Don't sweat the numbers, because it really... Because here's what happens. You could have a great day, and you're going to be sitting on cloud 9, you're like, oh, fuck yeah, this is awesome, I got X amount of viewers, or I hit my goal of how many followers I wanted today. That's awesome. But then whenever you have an off day, or whenever viewership is down,
day, that's not that day.
Right, exactly. Then you feel like shit.
It's the worst feeling.
You feel so much worse. You feel so much worse than how good you felt. You get down, and then that comes through. That totally comes through, because it's happened to me. It happens to me still. I mean, sometimes I don't really care about numbers as much anymore, but it still does come through sometimes. And it's like, you know what? This isn't. Then you start producing content that's like, well, I don't. Why would anybody even watch it if I'm not enjoying myself doing it? So don't try your best to not sweat the numbers.
It's hard.
It's hard. It is.
I got to the point where I do not bring my dashboard up. I do not look at the number, but I've been cheating. And I've always been cheating, where I'll bring up the viewer list and quickly do like a summary count by seeing how far down the list goes.
You might as well bring up the fucking dashboard.
Right. But it's like a good example for this. I think was yesterday's Thursday. So Wednesday, I had around 40 viewers, 30 to 40 viewers, and it was great. It was awesome. That's a good number for me, good average number, thumbs up. The next day, just kind of an off day, I had like 11 or 12, and I even went. I switched games, which is probably a mistake, and I went down to like 8 or 9, and that's it's such a shit feeling. It's the worst feeling, and the stream was not good from that point on. It just wasn't like it.
And
everybody has off days.
Don't
my
look at the
condolences
numbers.
to the people who know.
My cannolis.
My cannolis to the people who know you shouldn't do it and will do it anyway, like me.
Me too.
We're all in the same club together. I mean, we all know better, and we just can't help ourselves. We're driven by this idea that, somehow if we can see the trends, we'll somehow get ahead of it and have better control over what we're doing. And ultimately, there's so many variables and factors. Even if you know everything that goes into every decision you make, you're still never going to have complete control over anything.
Yeah.
And that's coming from someone who's in a very fortunate position to have a lot of control over what I'm able to do. Mm-hmm. So when you're just trying to make numbers happen at all, it's extremely frustrating. And
that's that. I was not to bring this back up again, but I was watching Dan's gaming stream the other day, and he was talking about this exact thing, and it was funny too, because it's like this is the sort of thing that I'm talking about having interaction with your chat. Just one stray question of like, how do I be successful as a streamer, right? And he went on for like 20 minutes about it. And because, he wanted to talk about it, wanted to answer the question fully. And one of the things that he was saying is like, honestly, most of the time, you just straight up can't control your numbers. You'll have off days, you'll have huge spikes out of nowhere, and sometimes you won't even know where they came from. And you'll have to fucking Sherlock Holmes that shit to try to figure out where that came from. But maybe you'll figure it out, maybe you won't. And then sometimes you'll spend just months at the same viewer number, and it will never go up, and you're thinking you're doing something wrong, but the truth is you're not. You're doing fine, and then sometimes you'll get a change, and suddenly you're at a new viewer number for a long time. And that's what he said, is like, if you're starting out on Twitch, what his advice was that if you're starting out on Twitch and you've got like 10, 20 viewers, or less than that, or like 5 viewers, you're going to be staying there for like 3 years. And then maybe like 3 years later, you'll get to, if all of the things roll, but it's like all the things roll into the way, then, you might be a really popular streamer or something. But like, and he sits at like, well,
everyone else that's been on Twitch has taken faster than that. So, like, why would he think now that he knows how the trends are going to work? Some people will be successful, some won't. That's all.
Yeah, and some are more successful quicklier, and some people aren't. And honestly, it doesn't necessarily have to do with who they are as a streamer. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't.
Some people get big and then immediately idle. I see that happen.
Yeah, no, that's what he was saying. Is like sometimes you'll get a burst to like a new viewer count, and then all of a sudden you have a new concurrent viewer count, and you're like, oh man, I'm growing. This is great. And then it'll just stay like that for months at that new number. And it's like, well, I know,
then the thing is, you're now going to compare yourself to what it could have been if you kept going in that trend, which is the most dangerous thing of all.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was in a steady decline for a while on my YouTube channel, and then I just randomly got featured by Nerd Cubed, and I like quadrupled the size of my YouTube channel. And ever since then, I've been on another steady decline, and that's over a year ago. So like, that shit just happens. Occasionally it just goes nuts, and then you just kind of idle, and then slowly go down.
Yeah. Or just stay level, or go slightly up, and there's not a great deal of rhyme or reason to it, unless you have, like, consistent interactions with other people who are doing this as well,
Right, and there's a lot of people that want you to believe that they understand how to do X, and they don't understand, really.
Yeah.
They're just trying. They're trying to put on a good face so people align with them, and that gives them power. That's all it is. Nobody really knows, though.
Yeah, no one really fully knows. That's the thing. Yeah, so basically, if you want to be a Twitch streamer, you prepare for months and months of pure, unadulterated, unfun hell, in which you'll second-guess yourself and feel like you're cursed and get into a horrible, depressed state. And maybe you'll have fun sometimes, but most of the time it'll be terrible. So that's
awful way
go
to
for
look
it. Enjoy Twitch. No, I'm just kidding, obviously. But we've talked about a lot of the downsides, and a lot of the hurdles and stuff. But
it's very fun.
It is
one of the most fun things you can do, honestly, in my opinion. Is stream.
You don't need to have 5,000 viewers like Man vs. Game to have fun doing it either. Like that, and that's part of the reason that I said that don't sweat the numbers. Because some of the most fun streams I had were in the really early days of me doing streaming at all, and I would have, just 10 people hanging out at like 4 in the morning and just talking random bullshit with them.
Those are the best.
Yeah,
I remember those days.
Yeah, so those were some of the most fun streams I've ever had. So it doesn't necessarily, success doesn't necessarily correlate to how much fun you're having. And then on top of that, I guess it's the same thing with your quality and whatnot. Like, if you're not having fun, you're gonna do poorly. If you are having fun, then people will stay, but it doesn't mean that you're gonna do better.
Well, people may stay. They won't guarantee to stay.
Well, yeah, I guess.
They might not like the game you're playing or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think if you're looking for anything, look for the idea of connecting with people through the common ground of playing games, because that's the greatest asset of the whole thing, is you make a community around your interests and the shared interests of those around you. And if you have other friends that you talk to outside of Twitch that also do Twitch stuff, there's a really cool bond that happens there too. So it kind of multiplies in different directions, and ultimately it all feels really great. And psychologically, doing Twitch streams has helped me fantastically, as well as YouTube too. I mean, that's a lot of why I did it. I mean, I have issues with social anxiety, I have trouble speaking, and I feel like I've come a very long way for having done that. And everybody's been incredibly supportive, and it's like I've made a ton of new friends. So that's a really positive reason to do it. Plus, you get to fucking play video games. That's fun.
Yeah, and you pretty much always... You pretty much always will make new friends, no matter if you have 5,000 viewers or 2.
Right.
If you
get what you put in.
Yeah, well, yeah, but seriously, you make a lot of new friends doing this. I'm making new friends all the time, baby.
I got
as long as you're not a
friends
dick.
on friends.
Yeah, I guess if you're a dick, well, no, I shouldn't say if you're a dick, don't do Twitch, because there's a lot of dicks. So
it's just like a fucking farm.
If you're a huge asshole and you know that you're a huge asshole,
then play it up.
Play it up. Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, and I'm only half kidding. Wait,
why are you half kidding? You should not be at all kidding.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I really shouldn't be kidding. I mean, honestly, here's a general thing too, and this is something that I don't really have myself. I don't really do this, even though I'm totally aware that I should. Is you gotta have a bit of a hook. Most of the top streamers, if you look at them, they have some kind of a hook that gets people. It doesn't matter how you get people in the door, so much as it matters getting people to stick around.
What's your hook?
And, well, my minor hook is the cool animation that plays when people subscribe.
I think you're selling yourself.
For a cool animation.
You're selling yourself short.
Well, and then also I like to think of myself as an energetic personality, which hopefully people get attached to.
That's better. That's more like it.
Yeah, and
that's a huge piece of shit.
Yeah, that too. I'm a huge piece of pure human fecal matter, and people really like that sometimes. No, but some
you have a good voice also, which doesn't hurt either.
Well, thank you, but yeah, no, I mean that's a. Also, if you have a very actually, if
you're
you
gonna
go
aw.
No, I was gonna say if you have a really bassy voice, then you're
yeah. If you can turn on the fucking radio butter for people like Bear Taffy, they'll love that.
Oh my god.
Actually, there was this guy when I was going to PAX East and I was waiting online for the bus.
Do your radio voice, Rob. Do your radio voice.
There was this like tall black dude who had the most. Like I think I got a boner from hearing him.
Oh, that's great. Did you show him?
I didn't show my boner, no. But
Damn it!
I really wanted to. The only thing that's because I really wanted to go up to him and be like, "Hey, do you have a Twitch channel or YouTube or something? Because if you don't, fucking get on that shit right now." But the only thing that stopped me is that he was talking with like two of his other friends, and I didn't want to like come up to a group of 3 strangers and go up to one of them and be like,
weird.
"Hey, you should go on Twitch. You two, I mean, you're all right, but like you should definitely." But I wish I was able to do that because his voice, I mean, holy shit. But you don't even necessarily have to have like a smooth, silky voice, just a unique voice. Well, you don't even have to have a unique voice, but it helps.
I don't consider my voice to be that great, and I mean,
my voice is super nasally and annoying, but people still listen to me.
Yeah, but like your voices are both unique in that way,
right?
Whereas, you know, not everybody's gonna be Bear Taffy with the voice of a chocolate god, but
I wish I was Bear Taffy with the voice of chocolate god.
Yeah, me too, but
who doesn't?
But that's what I was talking about when I was saying experience is something you can't buy. Just the fact that you can talk at all and project your voice so people can hear it. That you're saying words that are intended to be heard by people rather than kind of mumbling to yourself, which is what I did when I started YouTube.
Yeah, me
so
too.
Don't think I'm just saying this like as if I'm not guilty of it myself. I am, but I've come around.
Diction as well.
Eat
for
my
real.
diction, yeah, that guy's nice.
Yeah, Eat My Diction, Nick. He's a great dude. We all love him. Yeah, go talk to him. He'll help you out. That was my point. Let's talk to Eat My Diction because that's a great tip for starting streamers. No, but no, for real, diction is something. It's funny because I was specifically trained in diction.
Oh, you mean the word I still thought you meant the streamer for a different reason.
No,
I was real confused.
No.
I was like, what is this diction story happening?
He was trained in it.
Yeah, no, I was
He was molded by it.
Molded.
You only saw the diction when you were a man.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. But seriously, diction is super important. I was specifically trained in it because I went to acting school. And in fact, I think my diction has gotten worse over the course of me doing this. But I've noticed all of my friends have gotten better at diction over the course of them just
We've traded.
Yeah, exactly.
You've rubbed off on us, and we've rubbed off on you. And
I guess so, yeah. No, but I mean, like, that's something that you learn through experience, is you speak more clearly when you have to speak so that people can hear you. You know what I mean?
It's so strange because when I was in high school and I had to take my speech class, I almost, like, passed out. I was so terrible at public speaking that I couldn't get in front of a class of, like, it was roughly 15 people. It was a very small speech class.
I've been there, too.
And I like, it was a disaster. And even today, I still have a lot of trouble, like, even just having a phone conversation with, like, someone at work. Like, I still kind of get nervous with calling some random company trying to do business. And yet I can get up in some certain situations and get in front of, like, hundreds of people, sometimes a few times thousands of people, and talk like it's nothing. Like, it's such a weird... Can I use the word dichotomy here, or is that not allowed?
I don't know that makes sense here.
It doesn't make... It's a weird juxtaposition.
There you go, that one. They're both similar, but that's the better one.
Yeah.
Clearly, my diction is not.
That's your vocabulary.
That's your vocabulary.
Yes.
His vocabulary is different from diction.
I'm gonna go to my cot.
But that's why it's okay, because here nobody's judging you. If you're at work, you'd be so worried that the person on the other end of the phone would be like, "What's wrong with this guy?" and not tell you about it.
Right.
You know, here everything's lampshaded. Just get over it and move on. It's a much healthier environment.
And also here, like, if you say something wrong, then Twitch chat will eat your fucking asshole open, and then you ban them all. So
you guys will eat my fucking asshole open. That's why I'm getting better at it.
That's a strange sentence to hear coming out.
You said it first, you piece of shit.
I know.
No, it was only weird when Austin said it.
Yeah, I said it about like a general Twitch chat, and you said it about us, and it got a little bit weird. But you know,
I don't think that's gonna happen.
We'll work out the numbers later. But yeah, and you know what? This ended up turning into us giving that panel at PAX instead.
I think ours was way better than the actual panel.
Ours was pretty good. Yeah.
But I didn't even see the panel, and I thought ours was better.
Dude, they didn't talk like they've ever streamed before, and I thought that was so weird. They acted like they were a bunch of fucking corporate people with a clipboard going over points about how you become a successful streamer, not like actually as if they've ever done it themselves. And I can't understand how that happened.
Yeah, I didn't like that much. Except I did like Zeke. Because he didn't really speak in those terms for the most part.
He also was just like trying to be weird.
That's kind of what Zeke is, though. He is just kind of weird.
No, but I get if that's him, but it seemed like he was forcing it so much.
Hey, trust me, he's not.
He's like, oh my god, I've got to get up and run around in circles because Twitch is so exciting.
Did he run around in circles?
Yes, he literally ran through the whole audience, actually, yes.
That's actually really funny.
He got up, he like threw something on the ground, and then he did a lap through all of the chairs and did high fives. I high-fived him. I'm serious, I did.
Yeah. See, so it worked.
No, what do you mean it worked? He was running, and the thing you do is put your hand out.
Yeah, well, you did it.
You put your hand out when someone's running by.
Yeah, and you did it.
The whole crowd did that.
Well, there you go. And you remembered him, right?
Oh my god. I knew who he was before I saw him.
There you go. That's all I'm saying.
I don't even know what you're proving this point with. What is the...
I don't know, Nick. You did high-five him. I don't feel like you have much of an argument
I think the proof is in the pudding here, Nick.
So you're saying he got me, though?
He got you.
Yeah, he got you good.
What did he get me, though?
With? A high-five.
He was pudge, and he said, fresh meat.
I mean, no disrespect to him, but I still haven't watched his Twitch channel.
But you will.
Why?
Because you high-fived him.
You high-fived Nick. I mean, I feel like we're running circles here. I mean, we all know.
He's the one running in circles through the crowd, high-fiving everyone.
You admitted it yourself that you high-fived him. I mean, we don't need to.
I don't think I would have done that if I was on the panel.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not your personality to run around and do high fives. Actually, that might have been my. I could have done that.
Would you have done that?
I might have, yeah. If I was a streamer that gets like 3,000 viewers and like a audience of like 500 people were asking me how to be a Twitch streamer.
Did you just pop your lips? Did you
go? Maybe I did. Maybe
in the middle of a word.
Maybe the proof is in the pudding. Maybe it goes back to what I was saying about how my diction has gotten considerably worse since I've stopped really doing... Actually, that would be a really good idea. I should go back to the old diction games that I used to do before I stream.
Is it just a bunch of
you warm up, though, right? Like, you do some vocal exercises.
No, I don't do vocal exercises.
I have to. I can't even start recording if I don't do it, or my throat just sounds like gravel farm.
Yeah, sometimes, though, I like that when my voice is all gravelly, because then it...
Yours has got to be different from mine, because mine just has, like, holes in sound, and that doesn't sound good at all.
No, sometimes with me, like, if it's early in the morning and I woke up, it'll just be like, hey, everybody, I'm AlpacaPatrol.
Oh, you go, like, sexy with it. No, mine just sounds like shit.
Yeah, no, I ride with the sexy train, you know. I get the ladies and the dudes as well involved in the lovemaking.
The love train?
Yeah. Yeah, it's always
train.
Remember that show used to come on all the time, and that's when I would always change the channel?
You mean Soul Train?
Yeah,
yeah,
Soul
that
Train.
They would always play reruns of Soul Trains from the 70s, like
after the X-Men or something.
Yeah, after Saturday morning cartoons ended, they would just play Soul Train.
Why did that happen?
They play Love Boat.
I don't know. I don't know what their demographic. Maybe they figured like, all right, well, after the Saturday morning cartoon shows ended, that demographic is gone no matter what we play. So this is the
trashest trash we've got.
maybe they're just like, well, we have a contract for this, so we might as well fucking play it. Or they're like, well, that as soon as the Saturday morning cartoon shows end, then our demo immediately changes from like, you know, 5 to 12 to like 60 to 80. So let's just fucking rock some Soul Train.
You're saying a good 21 to 34-year-old can't enjoy Soul Train, motherfucker?
I mean,
I don't even know what that show was. It was people dancing. What was that show?
It wasn't really. Yeah, it was very strange. They I don't think they even talked. Like they just played music and it was a bunch of people dancing for like a half an hour. Actually, it might have been an hour-long show. I don't know. I never really understood Soul Train.
Problem with that?
To be honest with you, no. But I really think they should resurrect it. They should reboot it, make it into a 2-hour film.
You could do it on fucking Twitch TV. How about that?
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, they have the whole music section now. On
like
Twitch.
Literally though, if anyone actually understands why Soul Train came on after Saturday morning cartoons, I'd like to know the actual answer.
I honestly think I'm pretty close.
You probably are.
Because like, what could they play that isn't a Saturday morning cartoon that is going to get
talk shows
the 6-year-olds to stay?
Or Price is Right.
I really don't think 6-year-olds.
Some kind of. Yeah, they would. I would love that. Did you fucking spin the wheel for the Showcase Showdown? I was so into that shit.
I mean, no, it was cool, but
the little thing, it's like and then it goes over, and you're like, oh shit.
Dude, Price is Right is like, if you're sick, like
it was the thing to watch.
You were like legally obliged to
dude,
watch Price is Right.
I would watch TV Land. You remember TV Land?
Yes,
what the fuck is wrong with you? That's not Price is Right. Go away.
Dude,
what did you watch? Like Mary Tyler Moore Show and Bewitched?
You remember when I called you a piece of shit earlier? This is why.
So much Bewitched, so much Mary Tyler. And what was that one that was black and white with
Dick Van Dyke Show, Dragnet?
Uber? No, well, Dick Van Dyke, yeah, but it's the one with it's not Leave It to Beaver, but it was the
I know that theme, but I can't think of it right now.
Yeah, fucking Shazam app right here.
I'm just trying to think of all the other shows. Like there was Bob Newhart, there was Laverne and Shirley. There was.
Yeah, I mean I watched those too.
I hate Laverne and Shirley, by the way. I hate that show.
What is that?
Laverne and Shirley was all right, but I actually really didn't like the Bob
spin-off, right? That was a spin-off from Mary Tyler Moore. So was Rhoda.
Yeah, Rhoda sucked.
You've bothered me now, Rob. I need to know what that's from.
I Love Lucy's really good.
Oh,
actually.
I Love Lucy.
Yeah, I Love Lucy is an actually good show though. Like that was a good show.
I can't believe you don't like Price is Right.
No, I mean I like the Price is Right. I actually prefer Jeopardy.
Like, oh god, how you're so boring.
You're both good, but like, why do you have to prefer one over the other? They're different shows.
Price is Right.
What?
Price is Right is like it's all right.
Did you watch Plinko? It's like,
yeah, come on. You ever watch Plinko?
You can't not like Plinko.
I don't think I've ever seen Plinko.
Oh, I fucking made one of those.
I think we've figured out why you don't like.
Wait! You guys are talking about The Price is Right. Oh no, I love The Price. I thought you were talking about. What
just happened?
I don't know. The wiring in my brain heard you say what you said and thought you meant Wheel of Fortune.
Oh my god.
Oh, so when I did the Showcase Showdown, you still saw the Wheel of Fortune wheel.
I didn't even hear that until you guys were saying different segments on the show.
I did sounds of the triangle flipping.
I remember that. Yeah, no, and I was like, why is he making that sound? Like what? Wait. Hold on. Yeah, you made the sound of the wheel, right?
Yeah.
And that was Wheel of Fortune.
No, that was the Price is Right.
That was definitely Price is Right.
So that must have been where my fucking wiring got messed up, because I still hear that as the Wheel of Fortune wheel. That
one didn't have a beeping sound. That was just a clacking.
No, it has a beeping. No, they make similar beeping noises.
It was mostly clacking.
Yeah. It was like a tick.
Wait, no. Wait, Wheel of Fortune doesn't have a beeping noise. Now I've confused myself.
Oh my god! Am I the only one who knows these shows? Fuck!
No.
Oh my god!
No, actually, I go back on everything I said. Yeah, Price is Right is fucking awesome. I love it.
Good. You see why we were calling you.
Does anyone know what show we're actually talking about right now?
Well, how do you
guys
be
a millionaire, right? That's the one.
By the way,
Bob Barker hosted it.
Yeah.
Not Alec Trebek.
How do you get? Well, no, that's Jeopardy.
No,
Wheel of Fortune
just
is
because I don't know what you're thinking these days. I just wanted to make sure.
Well, how do you guys feel about Wheel of Fortune?
I like Wheel of Fortune too.
It's fine.
It's time though. It's completely different. Like
it's fine.
That's
right?
Pat Sajak.
It's okay.
That's Pat Sajak and Villa. What's her name? What's her name?
Wilmer Valderrama.
Vanilla White.
Did you just say Vanilla White?
I did. I did that on purpose.
Vanilla White.
Okay, look, that's for her. That's for after Wheel of Fortune, all right. So
Oh no.
no, but no, Wheel of Fortune. It's prime. Like Wheel of Fortune is like, all right, I'm eating dinner with my family. I got home from school. It's not the news, so I'm happy about it.
Oh God, your family watched Wheel of Fortune over
Yeah, of
dinner?
course
That
they did.
sucks.
Yeah. Why?
What do you think they watched? Jeopardy?
We would watch like Alien
Fuck
or like
off.
some movie or
You watched
something.
Alien every night at dinner.
Well, wait, how do you
What's
have
Alien
dinner long
every-
enough to watch a movie?
Well, it's not just watching the movie. Well, you eat dinner and then you're still watching. I mean, you don't just stop, and you get dessert during.
Okay, so
the
like
movie.
the part where the alien forcibly shoots out of the man's chest cavity,
Yeah.
like that part with dinner is not super compatible.
See, I guess maybe I'm the one with the weird family because that is
Yeah, I
that
think
does
that is
not
the case.
bother me at all.
But-
Well,
we
I've
can all
also eaten
agree.
dinner with The Walking Dead, so I guess fuck me. I don't know.
yeah, there you go.
We
See?
can all agree that Price is Right is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, no, Price is Right. It's great.
Do
yeah.
you know what show it is though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nick,
Now I know what you're talking about.
Not
now.
Pat
Price is Right.
Sajak this time.
Because it would always have those assholes who would be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna bet $500. All right, I'm gonna
And
bet
501.
501."
hey man,
I'd just
you
bet
do
a
what you gotta
dollar.
do to
Like
win.
if I was on that show and the guy next to me did that, I would sock him in the mouth. That's what I would do.
You
That's
know
like
what?
a Family
And that-
Guy skit of
If
that.
I was that guy, I would do it. Fuck, I'm winning. All right, I'm not playing fucking your stupid fair game. No, I'm winning.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go spin the goddamn wheel. All right.
And I'd pop him right in the mouth. That's what
Okay,
I.
pop me right in the mouth. I'll be on the wheel laughing all the way to the bank as I roll a dollar, bitch.
Yeah, well, I will feel happy with you. May have your money, but I will have my pride and dignity, and that's
All right.
what all.
And I'll have a
all
fucking
really
vote.
matters.
Did they arrange the contestants in a way that makes that fair? Because the person who goes fourth, I think there were 4 podiums, right? Or was it 3?
Whoever walked in bets first. Whoever is the
Right.
most recent person.
Okay,
bets
so they do slide down though as people win.
It's not. It doesn't slide down. It's whoever wins. The person that goes there bets first.
Well, I'm just thinking the person who's fourth, the last person to bid, is the one with the greatest advantage. So it should mean that everyone gets a chance to be fourth at one point.
That doesn't happen every time.
That's kind of bullshit, though.
A little bullshit. But
Well, it doesn't necessarily happen every time, but if with the rule that they have in place, where like you won the last round, then you're gonna be at fourth, right?
well, no,
so,
no, the
or not. I mean
won
the other
here.
way, yeah. The person that won the last round is gonna be in the least advantaged position.
Well, no, that's
versus-
not in the. He's not in the position at
No,
all.
the bidding is new people every time, with the exception of the ones that are left over.
I guess you're right. I haven't watched Price is Right in a long time. Also,
Yeah,
the
you also
headphones
think it's
died,
Wheel of
so-
Fortune, so who knows
Drew
what you
Carey,
think these
Drew
days.
Carey's great,
Drew Carey's fine. Bob Barker's the classic, though.
of course. But I
Drew
think-
Carey's not gonna do it anymore, right? He's taking over Ferguson's show, the Late Late Show.
is he?
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh
know
my
that.
god, I don't even know what's happening to TV anymore. I don't care.
Dude, Drew Carey gets too much shit. He's actually like really talented.
He's
Fine.
really good, yeah, but he's too wholesome.
I liked him more back in the day. I feel like he's just kind of bland now.
The Drew Carey show was really funny.
Oh, that's when I liked him.
And Whose
Yeah.
Lines Anyway? He was great on there too.
He was
Well,
kind
He
of
was
just
great.
there.
No, he would do the game. Like he didn't do the games until like season 2 or something. or
Mostly
season
didn't
3.
do the games.
No, he did. He always did the final game.
he would do the final
Yeah,
game.
the
yeah.
final
yeah.
game. That's it.
Yeah, and he would do a good job.
The other guys did all the games.
Well, that's the point. That's why there's 4 of them. He's the host.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying.
This is what I mean with
all
people that
right.
shit
Don't
on
need a
Drew Carey.
host when there's no
He
points.
was all right. He filled his role as a host on that show. You know, like he
that's
did
exactly
okay.
it. That's exactly where he stopped. Is after
He
the
was-
fulfilling his host role.
Yes, he was the role filler. He didn't necessarily go the extra mile. You know,
I don't know. I feel like he did whenever the games he was in, he did a great job.
he did pretty good.
He did great. See,
he
this
was
is what I
fine.
mean. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
You know who gets shit on,
Shit.
or actually doesn't get shit on necessarily. Actually, everyone loves him who knows him, but most people don't know him or have ever actually even watched him. Is fucking Craig Ferguson on the Late Late Show. That show is like honestly one of the funniest
I don't
late
have an
night
opinion.
talk shows ever.
I
I know
don't
because
really
you guys probably
watch it.
never saw it. Yeah, I know that no
I've
one
seen a
gets a chance to watch it.
I've enjoyed it. He's pretty funny.
He's so good. It's so funny all the time. Cause he just doesn't give a shit. That's the best part about it. Is that
Dude.
like he was like, I'm on at like 2 a.m. Fuck all the rules. I'm gonna do whatever I want.
David Letterman couldn't give any less shits in the last couple of years.
That's true. Actually, but that you know what? That reminds me though, is Conan's final run on what was it, the Tonight Show or whatever? That was like the greatest thing ever. Like those final series of episodes when he knew he was going to get canned at the end of his contract were fucking hilarious. Because I don't know if I think I mentioned this before, where one time on the show is like he had a budget of like 50 grand per episode or something like that, right? And he like literally got on the stage and he was like in completely deadpan, like, fucking, I hate being here but I have to because I'm contractually obligated. He was like, so we have to spend a budget every show, and I didn't feel like doing anything, so here's a Ferrari while the Beatles, Hey Jude plays, and he just it was like all of Hey Jude while like a Ferrari was just sitting on stage, and he just no commentary, nothing. Like that was the whole thing, and then they cut to break, and it was just like that is fucking genius. Like you were amazing.
Apparently, a lot of the shows that Conan did during the writer's strike were actually really great shows.
Yeah,
because Conan was really good at being funny naturally.
He's a funny dude. Hey, he used to write for The Simpsons.
Did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, yep.
Dude, when the Colbert Show was on with the writer's strike, that hurt my soul a little bit. There were some episodes of that were like so bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his writing team is incredible.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see how this thing goes.
I miss him.
Have you guys been watching Last Week Tonight with John Oliver? Because it's actually like the greatest show on television right now.
It's really good, actually, yeah. But no, I don't watch it.
I keep getting clips of it occasionally, but I don't watch it either.
It's pretty much the best like investigative journalism / comedy. Like you learn so much about how terrible our country is, and you get to laugh the whole time.
Yeah, that's why I've been watching The Daily Show and The Colbert Report for the last 10 years.
And that's why you would love Last Week Tonight, because it's everything that is...
I wish John Stewart got a chance at the format that John Oliver gets to do.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Having watched like 100 episodes of Daily Show back to back, it really, really gets old when he's constantly just doing guest interviews.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they're mostly okay, but I really just love the 10-minute middle. Or beginning to middle, rather.
They're the worst part of the show, is the guest interview. Honestly, I think the format of the show, in my opinion, just starts off high and goes downhill every episode.
Yes, that's correct.
Sometimes the middle skits are pretty good. They're good a lot of the time. But the beginning part where he's just fucking laying into the world
is the best part of it.
Yeah,
absolutely the best part.
Yeah. The whole like Onion style reporters it's very hit and miss for me. But when he's sitting there doing his spiel, that is what the Daily Show is to me.
Yeah,
it's that.
Also, I mean, Jon Stewart is a fucking celebrity maker for real.
Yeah,
like fucking Stephen Colbert, Steve Carell, now John Oliver. Like a lot of people on that show have gotten famous, and I'm not even naming all the ones that have gotten not as famous as them, but those guys are all super famous.
Yeah.
So,
I love that guy.
Yeah.
Cool dude.
Having a run on the Daily Show is a serious career maker. Like that. Honestly, I think the Daily Show is the new SNL as far as like comedy career maker.
It's gonna be over soon, so fuck it.
Yeah, that's true. Who's gonna host it now? Are they gonna bring back Craig Kilborn?
Greg Kilborn.
Greg Kilborn.
I don't know. I don't think they said.
Yeah.
I don't like to think about it.
Can we take a moment?
If they get Steve Carell.
Greg Kilborn.
Why would Steve Carell do that?
I don't know.
I don't think he'd take that position.
I don't think he would either, but it would be cool if they did.
I don't know.
I really just thought that Jon Stewart was going to just do a David Letterman and like work that role for his whole life.
Yeah.
I really hope that was going to be the case.
He wants to make movies now.
I know.
And that's fair. It's a lot of work, The Daily Show. So,
I bet he burned out. He did it for a long time.
He did. He had like a 15-year run?
Something like that. It was very close to the early 2000s, I think, when he started,
Yeah. Yeah, because he actually was just starting when 9/11 happened, actually. Yeah,
I remember the video of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's... I'm actually just really interested to see who they're gonna pick, like because it's probably the biggest shoes you have to fill ever. Like,
I hope they don't go with someone famous, or actually maybe if they get Craig Ferguson, that'd be cool. But if because like when Jon Stewart came in, he wasn't like super famous. He had a bunch of like a series of very unsuccessful television shows, and then he did The Daily Show, and he was brilliant that whole run. So, I don't know. Maybe they'll get Tom Green. Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, that'd be weird.
That'd
I feel like I said this last time we talked about this, but what if they got Ricky Gervais? Would that be funny or would that be weird?
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
that would be really good because Ricky Gervais is
He kind of doesn't give a shit at all.
Well, no. I think he would be good, but the thing is, like, he's not. And I don't mean this in a way that it's gonna sound when I say it, but
because he's British.
Because he's not an American, not because he's British, but because he's not an American.
I think that almost makes it better in a way. He'd have better perspective.
I mean, seeing how well John Oliver has done, I don't.
No, but that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's like John Oliver is an American, even though he's British, because he's lived in America for like 20 years.
Yeah, no, I get you.
So he knows all the thing that's going on, and he knows all the shit that he hates. Whereas like Ricky Gervais is like an outsider looking at all the shit that he hates, which is totally valid as well, but also not as fun.
Ricky Gervais is too tied up with HBO and a lot of deals.
I don't think it would actually happen. I'm just saying, like, as a dream team type thing, like, I would absolutely give that a shot if he was on there.
That'd be cool. I would be into Craig Ferguson. Just because
I don't think Craig Ferguson could have enough of a serious side for it. I've never seen him be serious before.
He doesn't, yeah. I mean, well, he laid into people on the Late Late Show, too, though. So I think he could. And he's hilarious, and he's also like he's lived in America for like 40 years. So
he's retiring though, right?
Yeah, he's not going to do the late night or anything like that anymore. I think he's still doing like voiceover roles and acting, but he's not going to do the
he's
talk
good
show.
At voiceover.
He is. He's
How to Train Your Dragon.
He's amazing in How to Train Your Dragon because you don't know it's him.
Yeah, I didn't know it was him until I saw the billing.
I didn't either. Yeah, I had no idea. It was great. But yeah, I don't know who else is even up for it. Conan? I don't think he would do it.
Like I think he's had the same problem. He's
out there.
See him serious enough.
Yeah, I don't know if he would do it.
There's like a lot of Jon Stewart is pretty credible, like the way he comes across as a comedian still. Which has always been his problem, is that he wanted to be known more as a comedian, but people always wanted to peg him as a journalist.
Right? Yeah.
So it's a difficult situation to set up.
You'd have to look at comedians, I think, honestly. Louis C.K.? No, that wouldn't fit.
I don't
know. I can't think of any, like...
You know what? I bet they're just gonna... It's fucking Comedy Central, so they're just gonna get Kevin Hart to do it.
Wow.
Killed himself. I hate Kevin Hart. It's the most boring fucking comedian the world's ever known. Oh, God.
Well, they'd have to be pretty desperate, whoever they pick, because this is, like, the last big thing that they have, right?
Yeah, it is.
So...
Is Tosh.0 still successful?
I don't watch it anymore. So.
I don't watch it.
Yeah, I don't know anyone who watches it anymore. I knew everyone always watched it.
I don't think anybody goes to television anymore, honestly. But on top of that, like, Comedy Central has always been fucking garbage, actually. Like,
I don't agree.
It's like, they had things, but the things were because the people that made the things were really passionate about what they were doing. Whereas, like, the majority of the shit that Comedy Central tried to fucking slog at you was the most garbage nonsense. Like, what was that one show, Lil Bush?
Yeah, it was straight garbage, I agree.
That was pure trash, and I'm sure Comedy Central would have loved to make only that if they had the chance. And comedians always made fun of Comedy Central because of that very thing, because they just didn't give a shit.
No one could have thought that was funny, right? Like, they saw the episode before it went up and were like, yeah, no, we'll just let that go anyway.
That was in no way funny. That was like, hey, we're cashing in on people's hatred of George W. Bush and the success of The Daily Show. Here you go, Lil Bush. Everyone's going to love that. Jesus Christ. And there are some other really awful ones.
I know, there are several.
Actually, all of Comedy Central, except for like a few standouts, have been garbage. I mean, you have like... Actually, now Key and Peele's really funny. But then you got the Chappelle Show, which is another great standout. There were some minor ones that people were really into, like Crank Yankers. Did you guys ever see that?
I actually have watched quite a bit of that, and I thought it was all right.
I thought it was all right as well.
If it was on, I wouldn't turn it off most of the time.
Yeah. I would say the same thing. Yeah, that was all right. But the rest of it is fucking trash. It's always been trash. The stand-up is great, but they don't play that anymore.
They never play stand-up anymore.
They don't do stand-up anymore?
No, not at all.
That was like
hours. No, they do it sometimes at like 11 in the morning, but that's about it.
Comedy Central Presents is like where everyone goes before they're famous. Like,
yeah, I remember when I was younger, just like watching hours of Comedy Central Presents, just seeing new comedians and seeing if they're funny. And a lot of them were. I mean, I remember seeing Daniel Tosh's Comedy Central Presents like years before he did Tosh.0 or
one
did
of the
anything.
best Comedy Central Presents that there is Daniel. Well, no, actually no.
Dimitri Martin. Really Dimitri Martin was one of my favorites ever.
No, I actually meant Daniel Tosh's special. His first Comedy Central special was one of the best specials they ever.
Yeah, like, it was really good.
His like bit, his entire bit is just hilarious. It never stops. It's every joke is super funny. I still
steal some of the jokes from that special. I still to this day steal
very
some
good.
Of them. Yeah, they are.
His second one was average, but that first one was. I still remember most of the jokes just because of how good they were.
Yeah, they were really good.
Bo Burnham's first special was very good too.
That was actually really funny. Yeah, he's actually really funny.
He's very funny. Have you seen his new his free special?
No.
You have to watch it.
Actually, you know what? I bought Louis C.K.'s new special. I haven't watched it yet. I bought it like a month ago.
Watch that, but also watch it. Bo Burnham, if the audience doesn't know who he is, he started on YouTube making funny like little music comedy sketches, not sketches, but just songs. And eventually he got on Comedy Central Presents, and it was pretty successful. And Comedy Central gave him a special, and his special was pretty successful. And then he kind of disappeared for like 3 or 4 years. And then he released his next special just on YouTube for free. It didn't go on Comedy Central. There's not even an ad on the video. Like it's completely free, and it's better than his first special. And it's really, I think, a ridiculously good piece of performance art. Like it's not just comedy; it's a ridiculous piece of performance art, and you should all go watch it.
Oh, is it like a one-man show type of deal, more than a stand-up?
Yeah, and you don't really expect it, and it's really
that's cool. Well, now I'm gonna expect it. You just told me to expect it.
It's not a surprise to the point where you would be ruined if you knew, but it's incredible. Honestly, I don't even think it's been given enough credit for how good that. It's called What? Just WHAT. It's
there you go.
Fantastic.
Speaking of actually one-man shows, as a slight note, you guys ever see John Leguizamo's one-man show that he did on Broadway?
I haven't.
I have not, but let's make this the last point because I think we've gone quite long.
Yeah. Well, it's very good, and yes, we're at 1 hour and 30 minutes, so we should end. Which is actually pretty funny since we had a 5-minute magic.
Specifically said, that we wanted to keep this shorter today, and then we went 1 hour 30. Whatever. We had a good talk about Twitch. That was fun.
Yeah, it's a solid episode.
Hate to be a party pooper. I know we probably could have gone another hour, but...
Oh, man. People in my party. It's fine. It's not a plane.
Poop in the party. I'm really hungry. I still didn't get to eat dinner because my fucking delivery man
You think it ever got here?
For an hour. I don't think so.
So he just ate
on
it
then? The other side of New York now.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go.
There's 4 of them actually. There's 4 sides.
Yeah, there's lots of them. Yeah,
it might be more.
Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye. See you on the next one.
Mondays and Fridays. Well, this one's gonna be Saturday, but still.